Good morning. Who's alive? You guys ready to trade some Forex? Yeah, me too. Welcome to Forex.Today. It's a Monday. Let's get on with it. Let's go. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, it's not necessarily indicative of future results, but please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Ni hao ma! Hey, nice to meet you. My name is Wayne. Fist bump. COVID. Do you ever do elbow bumps? Yeah. Hey, it's safe, man. Anyways, welcome to Forex.Today. My name is Wayne McDonald. I am a currency trader. Been doing this now for, I guess, pretty close to 20 years. Still love it. Love it more than being a venture capitalist. Very cool. Why? Instant gratification, yo. So anyways, cool. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your positive energy. Thank you for all the hard work you're putting into this thing called Forex. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis, trader psychology. Hey, it's a tough gig, yo. But if you get everything right, it pays you too much. This is the Get Rich Slow YouTube channel. This is about developing skills, patience, and discipline being some of the most important ones. And over long periods of time, with low levels of risk and steady returns, you will find the greatness that you seek. I'd like to thank Traders Way for being part of our community as well. As a trader, you're going to need a broker, and you're going to need a broker that you trust, and Traders Way has earned my loyalty and respect. If you visit tradersway.com and open up a demo account, you'll give them the opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. Maybe it's fast execution speed, maybe it's low fees, maybe it's big swaps, maybe it's great customer service, maybe it's just a clean and organized back office. Simple enough, right? Tradersway.com, tradersway.com. See you over there. Coolio. By the way, what do you prefer, ECN? Or do you? I like spreads. I don't like big spreads, but I like spreads. So I'm not really an ECN guy. I like spreads. I like soft dollars over hard dollars, but whatever, man. Your way at Trader's Way. Trader Wayne. Long into 55. Hey, did anyone spend all weekend nursing their Bitcoin? Gee whiz, son. Yeah, pretty amazing, isn't it? If you remember, our trade plan from last month was to buy the dip down at 50, which was our 618, project that up to 65, which is our 1382, and it not only did it do it perfectly from 50 to 65, but holy crap, the whole market collapsed after hitting our target. Like, holy smokes. Which tells me a lot of other traders saw the same thing. And that our technical analysis also expresses, I don't know, not the mood or the sentiment, but, the trade plans of market participants that trade Bitcoin as well. Okay. Peter says, what happened? Who cares? Oh, you mean maybe you don't even know? So there was, I don't know what you want to call it, a flash crash, but Bitcoin dropped like $12,000 in about 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, and then look, so now you're going to have 95 different opinions of what happened. Honestly, it doesn't matter. So you hear things like, oh, there's a whale, someone got out, someone took profit on 9 billion. You're going to hear that the hash rate out of China dropped by 50%. You're going to, like, there's all this stuff. The United States is now going to regulate Bitcoin, and I mean, just there's 9 million pieces of gobbledygook that I don't actually care about. Oh yeah, okay. Coinbase insider shares were sold off, but you can't do stuff like that, so it's really funny. So whatever rumor you subscribe to, I just say, like, honestly, it doesn't matter. Cool. So believe what you want to believe. Yeah, one big sale explains it all kinds of things. Yep. Okay. Look at this. I have a bottle of wine in the way. Sorry. It's all right. I don't even know where that is. Lisbona. Oh, it's Portuguese. Yeah. It's interesting. All right. Get that out of the way. All right. Good. Fine. Great. So how you doing? You feeling good? Yeah, I was just thinking right before I hit stream, Friday, I think I was saying, because on Wednesday I got the COVID shot, and then by late Thursday, I'm like, I think I don't feel good, and then by Friday I was kind of like, oh yeah, last night I didn't sleep very well, kind of thing. If you remember Friday, yeah, I feel fantastic now. So I got the virus. Yeah. So, anyways, cool. So let's take a look around the world. Yen, Now remember, last quarter, yen was weak. And this quarter, I expected not nearly as weak, not necessarily strong, but yen's not being the best pair. Look at this. Now all of a sudden, yen's going nowhere fast and dollar just tanked. But that's what we planned for. Isn't that amazing? Knuckles. 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, we talked about this rotation, and now look at it. Yen not weak, dollar ripper weak. And that's exactly what we planned for. So your yen pairs still might be profitable, but your dollar pairs are significantly more profitable. And that is the rotation. Lovely. Yeah, perfect, right? Nice. Just golden. Okay, so that's good. So we'll love that. What else going on? Pig took off. You know what? I got knocked out of my trade at break even on Friday. Now it's up like 200 pips. Son of a... So pound dollar took off without me. You son of a... Yeah, anyways. APAC, if you remember last week, was sort of on and off, and now it's sort of still on and off. Swissy, blah. Now, CAD. We have a central bank meeting out of Canada this week, don't we? Oh, Daniel had it, but you're in it. Yeah, well, well, congratulations. Damn you, Daniel. Yeah, cool. Glad you nailed it. Very often what happens to me is while I'm coaching, I'm like, well, you can move the stop. And of course, I'm not really doing it mentally. I'm just showing you can, you cannot. And then, of course, it's a mistake. But anyways, we have a central bank meeting, right? Don't we? Forex.Today, Forex news calendar. Lovely. With your smile so worn and your teeth so green. All right. Yeah. Okay. I want to find the kitty cat one. Cad. This one right here. You guys paying attention to this one? Who has this one on their radar screen? Kitty cat. Now you're saying RBA, yeah, which is fine. What do you expect the RBA to say? Anything new? No. So why this one? Yeah, right, but it's this one. Why? Why am I pointing out this one, skipping everything else? Anybody want to take a jab at it? Anybody even, is it even on the radar? Are you even thinking about it? Have you done some research? What's the rumor on the street? Oil, no. Import-export data, no. You're just guessing now. You don't know, do you? You don't know, do you? Come on now. What's the rumor? What's the market sentiment? You got the ear to the ground, right? They're going to start talking about reduction, removal, the end, what we call taper. They're going to taper quantitative easing. Change in policy. Oil consumption. Central banks don't care about oil consumption. Not rates, no. Tapering, yes. Sangam nailed it. Yeah, tapering out of quantitative easing. Okay. Well, so Iron Abacus says, hey, bond market expects a taper tantrum. Okay, that's media. Okay, the media. The taper tantrum, I was going to write it, but who cares? The taper tantrum from, I don't even remember what year that was. What, 2011? I don't remember the taper tantrum year. But the thing is, the market misunderstood what the Fed had said, and it freaked them out. That's what the taper tantrum was. The market expects it, and then the central bank's going to confirm it. So it shouldn't be a taper tantrum. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a huge newsworthy event like the taper tantrum was. Like, that was a market crash because people just were not on the clue train. Now, the interesting thing, though, is they did clearly tell people, but the market is stupid. The market is stupid. Okay? If you believe in efficient market theory, like, I don't understand. Because when you look at behavioral finance, the market is stupid. And you have to be able to behave and trade inside the chaos and emotion. But whatever. So I just don't foresee a taper tantrum coming out of the reduction of quantitative easing. But I could see a media person going, they just fresh out of journalism school. They read 3 books on investing, and now they're reporting for, some big newspaper, some TV show. And they're going to say, well, do you remember that taper tantrum? That's what happened when quantitative easing ended for the Fed back in 2011. So that's what's going to happen to Canada in 2021. Sort of like the media freaking out that we had an inverted yield curve a couple of years ago. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Yes, it's an inverted yield curve, but not all inverted yield curves predict the end of the world. So, like, it's just funny how I think that's probably not applicable. I don't. There's not likely, in my humble opinion, going to be a taper tantrum similar to what happened in the United States in the past. The Canadian bond market will be just fine. Canada will be just fine. It's really good news for Canada to say we don't really need an emergency monetary policy. Like, there's accommodative monetary policy, but emergency monetary policy in Canada right now is probably unneeded. Right? Okay. So anyways, Iron Abacus, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, probably not, right? So, but whatever. We'll be here. We'll be here when it happens, right, Iron? So, Wednesday's on my radar. Okay, cool. RBA meeting minutes, great. Yep. Okay. Boop, 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 Got this going on out of the UK. Retail sales of Australia. That's actually a kind of, even though it shouldn't be a big deal, I'm kind of hoping it becomes a big deal in the sense that I'm hoping we get some good news, actually. Some real good news out of Australia. That's what I'm hoping for there. So that's a doozy because remember, we're trying to calculate GDP in our minds and we want to see better GDP out of Australia, so we're going to need an increase in consumption. Right? Okay, cool. All the way out to Thursday, ECB interest rate decision and monetary policy statement. I don't care. Don't care. Sorry. Right? Nothing is likely to happen. Won't be a market mover. Won't be a currency mover. Then way out to Friday. Friday is going to be a great day for pounds, so you probably want to front run more like Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, Madoff dying? No, I don't give a crap about Madoff. He was a scumbag, liar, and a thief. So I don't really care. Any loser can rob a bank with a gun, but it takes a real man to save for 40 years so his children can go to college and he can retire comfortably. Any loser can lie and steal. So I don't really care about Madoff. But I predicted he was going to die. I predicted 21 months ago, 42 months ago. I nailed it. I predicted it. Yeah, he was going to die. Yep. So he's dead. But it's just like, honestly, to me, it's not newsworthy. It just, I really don't care. So, and I, by the way, it's not even Madoff. It's really interesting. I don't know if it's a flaw in my character or something. I don't really care about people's sob stories. I really, in many cases, lack empathy, and I'm working on it. I'm trying to maybe have some empathy, but I like success stories. You know what I mean? I really, really, really like success stories, and I don't even care what industry, what part of the world. You know, I'm fascinated by it. But like some guy getting making $1 million on Doge coin or something. It was funny. My son and I we went out for burritos. I'm like, come on, son, come in. Let's go to the Mexican mart. Like we go to the real Mexican place. So anyways, so we go there and we're hanging out. We're talking about Dogecoin, and he's like, "Man, if you had only bought 10,000 of it when it was worth 0.0001235.9 of a penny." I'm like, "Son, you just told me like, yeah, okay, we would have made millions, right?" I'm like, "Dude, so you're telling me I should have bought something that was worthless. I should have bought $10,000 worth of this worthless thing because now it would have converted into millions of dollars." I'm like, but it doesn't actually make sense. Why would you spend $10,000 on something worthless? So I'm like, but anyways, the degenerate gambling and all that kind of stuff, I don't really care. Someone getting rich quick, I really don't care. So I like success stories, hard work, pushing beyond odds, getting stuff done despite that's what I like. And the other stuff, I just don't really care. Everyone's got a sob story. Most people have a sob story, but I like the one that has a sob story and stands up and makes the world a better place. So anyway, so Bernie Madoff stole a whole bunch of money. Scumbag. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, why do I not care about the ECB central banking meeting? There's nothing they can do that's going to influence the euro. Maybe they can impact the European economy, but as far as the euro itself, there's nothing that they're likely to say or do that's going to change the outcome of the euro between now and let's say midsummer. So I just really don't. It to me as a currency trader, I don't really care that much. Okay. Oh, good morning, Maida. Okay. So anyways, just reading your chats. Okay, cool. So let's I've been around the world and we head around the world. Lost my baby. I don't know why he's going away. So I don't remember the words, obviously. All right, so here's the big flash crash. Boom. And I had to nurse this one all weekend. Doesn't look like much in here, but it moved about, if I were probably $5,000. So but it was up here at 61, 62. Then into the weekend, it was farting around 60, 60, 60, 60. Now, right, because of the liquidity partners on a Forex platform, it's not open over the weekend. So you can see we're kind of ending here. And then, whoa. And it took just minutes to get down to 51. This shows 55. It actually went way down here. It just reopened here. So, we were talking about like if you missed it, if you're not exposed to crypto, here was our target that we set 2 months ago. Nailed it. Okay. And so we had here, and this is where we closed Friday. And then it dropped to about here. And it did this for part of Saturday. And then within like an hour, we were here. It just went, wah, in an hour, less than an hour, right? 64 to 60, and 61, then down to 60, and then 60, and then 60, and then 60, and then 51. You're like, what? $9,000 in minutes. So yeah. So I had to do this all weekend. Okay. And I got out at 57. And because I didn't know, like I figured it could be here while I sleep, or it could be back down here while I sleep. And I really didn't want to take that. I didn't want to take that chance. So basically I got out, essentially halfway through. So I'm like, okay, manage the risk. I was more interested in the risk than any sort of reward. So anyways, it was a slap in the face, how quickly I was replaced. And are you thinking of me when you trade Bitcoin? So anyways, shitty weekend that way. But anyways, back to global macro. Yeah, best not to sleep. Yeah, I had to sleep. Right. Okay. So, okay. So this is, if you remember, back probably early to mid-March, maybe mid to late March, I was talking about not just oil, but other things, kind of finding new levels, consolidating, and then finding new levels and then consolidate, and then finding new levels and consolidate. And at that particular moment, oil was coming down. And what I was showing you is I'm still bullish. Long term, I'm bullish. But we also know between today and June 1st, even though I'm bullish on demand, I'm neutral on prices. Okay? Sure know what I'm talking about? Okay, so I'm bullish on demand, neutral on price, because supply in the U.S. typically, but although I believe with this year's Texas ice storm, there's like a little more of this. Okay, for two reasons. One, the ice storm means we will not be able to replenish supply. See, typically we build up inventories, and if we don't have the same amount of supply coming out of the ground to put into storage, then that's going to slow down the rate of the increase, which means less supply than you would typically expect, which means maybe less supply could push up WTI here. But the other part of this is if we lack the supply to build up because of the ice storm, we're going to have to import foreign oil to build up supply. And what happens there? Well, if we're importing other oil, but what is it that we export? Dollar. We give up dollar to buy foreign oil, which means the value of the dollar goes down, pushing this price up. So even though typically I would say I'm bullish to neutral, I could see the argument of, yes, that's normal, but not this year. Okay. Okay, Brandon says, hi, everyone. This was said last Friday about interest rates in chat. Whose chat? Okay, let me see. General rule, higher interest rates, we expect currency strength. Fire that person, stop listening to them. If they're talking about U.S. dollar, they really don't understand. They don't have the background. They don't have the education or the experience. So whoever said that, walk away. Simple enough. All right. So cool. Guru. Okay. So anyways. So we'll see if this will climb. Climb higher. Higher. Wayne, is there a way to see all the transactions between a country and the rest of the world? Started looking into balance of payments and stuff. Yes. But for every country, it would be located somewhere else. Is there a good place to probably easily find this? Maybe Trading Economics? Maybe? How's that? Okay. I mean, you're looking for, up-to-date, real-time kind of stuff. We would need the aggregate so you could pull for Australia, New Zealand, and Canada all in one place. But, Oh, can you share that, Iron? Iron Abacus? Cool name, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, not real time, but I mean up to date, like quarter by quarter, month by month even. Yeah, please. And right? Yeah, Trading Economics probably has that. But if it does, it should let you post, right? If it doesn't let you post a link, maybe email me, Wayne at fxbootcamp.com. All right, so that's what's going on there. A little complicated on the WTI. You have to have both supply and demand understandings for WTI on a historic level. So if you remember, I told you to focus on the trend in inventories and where we're in, where we are inside of the 5-year standard deviation from the trend mean. And in this case, we're above the 5-year trend mean and likely to, so do the work. I've already suggested it several times. So you either in it or you're not. All right. And by the way, and then we did Brent on Friday, and then we extrapolated that into Noki trades. Okay. Sangam, I do my Fibonacci upside down because I'm self-taught. So I have to apologize for that. So the way that it works for me is I draw a study and I'm looking from here to here to here. And the 382 in this case is predicting the 1618, which is above us. So the way I taught myself is to say we've gone from here to here. This is held. So now we're going to this target right here. And I know that's not the traditional way, but honestly, there was no information about Fibonacci when I taught myself how to do it. Okay. So you might draw it the other way, whatever. You should still be able to understand. There's my 382 Fibonacci retracement. There's the 1618 Fibonacci extension. Very simple, basic Fibonacci. Okay. Anyone that's gone through my training courses at fxbootcamp.com, I take the time to explain why I did it upside down and such. And I also explain why I use 121.4, which is not a proper Fibonacci number, but I explain how I get to that. Because again, I'm self-taught, and I had spent like a year studying and analyzing Fibonacci, and that's what worked best. Okay. Okay. Cool. So gold. And do you guys remember? I just want to. Gold fell from January 1st, and we kept looking for bounces at support. We get down here in March. We hit support, just yet another support. If you were truly a bear, you would have sold off the top here. Then we hit this, and I said, this is the aha moment. This could be it because it's also April 1st, exactly when we expect a rotation out of dollar strength and into dollar weakness, right? Then the next part was the higher high. Then last week I retaught the secret word hammock, 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern, and we have all this all lined up and such. And then here we are. So like this upward move, we literally predicted 5 or 6 weeks in advance, right? And then we set it up over the course of an entire month. And that was your first opportunity. We call a double bottom. And the second one is the 1, 2, 3, which is your entry there. And now it's going up and you're making money, and it's supposed to. So I hope you appreciate that not just a day in advance, but weeks and weeks and weeks in advance, we're able to set it up, plan for it, and then wait for it, 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 now. Okay? Cool. It's not a lot of money, but it is a technical change. Okay. Okay. Trying to get it in there like that. Okay. Which website are you talking about? Explained in February. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Sangam. Observatory for Economic Complexity. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. Cool. Boo. I'll look into it. It reminds me of Far Cry 3. The image on the home. If you know your Far Cry, you're like, oh, that's right. Where the doctor lived. All right. Lovely. Oh, it's in the training courses? Yeah, well, there you go. So it's already in the training courses at FX Bootcamp. Okay. Cash says he's got his ear to the ground, and he's heard that last Wednesday Chinese related accounts were buying big silver and gold contracts in the trading pits. Okay, that's cool because you've heard it after it happened that last week. That's always going to be the case when you're right. There's always going to be something later that explains it. What I'm trying to teach you is this coming down is normal. Okay? Then we've measured it in such a way that we're looking for a change. And then this is what's truly important, because what happens is, right, is that, so Cash, like, those Chinese investors, let's say, got the signal, whatever the signal was. Maybe it's seasonality, maybe it has nothing to do with charts, and that's probably the case. But then the charts confirm sort of the change in market sentiment by having it move this way. But my point is, on the way down, we were preparing and preparing and preparing. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Okay. And so if buyers started buying in this period last week, well, of course. You see? Like, of course. Like, yeah. Right? Yeah, of course they were. It was the right thing to do at that time. Exactly. That's why it went up. So it didn't go up because there were big Chinese buyers in the market. The market was ready for big Chinese buyers, and we can prepare in advance because we know how to read the market. And so, knowing that part, right? So, like, it's great. It's great to see that there are big institutional buyers that pay attention to the same things that we do. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. Coolio. So let's move out of commodities. Let's do some dollar pairs. I guess we'll just do scan dollar. Okay, this is that Noki trade we set up last week based on the move in Brent oil. And if you recall, okay, that's the general plan. And here's kicking off the pivots. You probably have it set up more on weekly than daily, but tomorrow's move looks like this most likely. Okay. So I can't remember if that was Thursday or Friday, but we just recently did that. Take a look at Euro. I'll go farther out. I guess I got to go hourly. Even that won't stretch. All right. So let's put in the plans. So this goes back early, right? This is actually really, truly the second trade in the move, right? And this is the third. Okay, wave 3 from the April 1 rotation that we prepared for so many weeks in advance, right? April took off like a rocket ship. Here's the second chance. We had talked in the swing trading group in the previous week how this week's pivots are going to be gobbledygoo. They're not going to reflect the right information. And instead, we talked about how to get into that trade, even though you wouldn't have the proper pivots, because the previous pivots were created from an entirely different market in March. So, so this is all gobbledygoo here. So that's what we talked about, how to get in on dailies. So these are daily entries. But here we are now back into a nice little weekly move. Okay. Central pivot to up. Very cool. Okay. Very cool. Pound I got knocked out in Friday. No. So that's in here. I don't remember why. Honestly, I must have done it during the swing trading group where we're talking about something, and I jammed my stop. Obviously too early. I don't remember the logic. Because this is a nice trade. So I'm no longer in this one. I don't remember why I moved. But I got knocked out at break even on this. I don't remember why. But anyways, it worked out nice. So I was long in here somewhere. Okay. So that's Oscar Mike. Once again, planned out. It was the laggard, right? So I might have said, well, if you're worried about it, blah, 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 blah. All right. So here's another one. The Asia Pacific trades were not doing well in that moment. Okay. I think what I did, I don't remember it. What day was this? So I bought something like that. Can't remember. Looks like it was here. Okay. Because it's a 4-hour, right? So anyways, so we're on the second move now. So the way I trade these moves, in this case, we have a trap like this, and typically you expect some sort of pullback off this area, but it's such a new bullish move, okay, that it doesn't pull back as much. So the first extent, right? The first move is like this one. Typically, you get a fresh 5-8 cross and it comes back and you kick it off the 8 and then you kick it off the 5 and then you kick it off the 21, right? So there's an increase in velocity here. The next one won't be as dramatic, okay? So I'd worry about it up here around 78. So that's that. So here's the kitty cat. This one's been a slower one for me, but you can see I have it clustered in a sell zone, and I'm selling, right? So you see, you get, oops, that was supposed to be pink. We're getting this consolidation, which I've sold, okay? And now the idea is to be adding on these moves. So right now, this is going to move probably quick. It's probably going to come back and then probably set up for next week. But remember, Wednesday's the big day for CAD. And honestly, I'm not even going to try to predict the market's response to an indication of tapering out of Canadian quantitative easing. So I got my stop at break even and can't lose money. Okay. I can give you I could draw the charts and show you what's supposed to happen. But I'd be cautious of that. Right. Right. So that's what, four profitable dollar trades, right? Missed all my peso trades. Missed them all. They're still waiting. I should probably cancel them. Yeah, I'm going to cancel them. Missed each of these by 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Tried to catch pullbacks, missed them both. Just looking other places is all. So we did that one. I guess we can look at Rand. Rand hit targets. Okay, Rand hit targets. So how do you want to behave in here? It's trickier, right? So currently I have over 500 pips on this trade and over 700 pips on that trade. And now I'm in target. Okay. So here's what you have to consider in this situation. Okay. These pivots, which we're using for target, are based on what happened last month. So I might say to myself, I don't expect April to be the same as March, so I'm going to override. Okay? I'm not saying this is the right decision. I'm saying this is what you need to be thinking about. So let's say I took that point of view where April is going to have a bigger range than March. But because March was tight, then the pivots for April are going to be tight. But if I expect an expansion month, not a similar month, then I have to go a little more, right? So in this case, you would be then focused on a little farther down, okay? So for example, you could have a target we'll do it this way. S3 target. Okay. You could do it like that and say, oh, nice. Come on now. Okay. You can do that because typically in a normal month, right, without seasonality, right, I'd say, all right, this is a central pivot top, okay? A central pivot top predicts an S2 bottom. Okay? That's your standard operating procedure in a scenario like that. But again, this target is now based on the fact that this went up, came down, and then closed in the middle, right? Right? It went up to the middle, then went higher, back to the middle, a little lower, then back to the middle. So like nothing happened. So therefore, right, this weighted mean and the standard deviation, well, obviously there's not much standard deviation. The lowest low is here, the highest high is here, and we spent most of it at or near the mean. We're reverting back to the mean, not expanding away from the mean. So this target in this scenario, if you expect more based on seasonality, then you're like, you know what? I understand this target is the standard operating procedure, but you don't think that that's what's going to happen. You're looking beyond your statistical analysis and you're expecting the outlier. Right? Okay. So anyway, so where am I now? Ooh. So I haven't, right? I still only have 1,650 pips. I think on Friday I had 1,600. So like 50 pips. But to be fair to myself, I was long pound dollar and in coaching got knocked out for whatever reason. There should be a couple extra 100 pips sitting on that. So feel sad for me. Right. So anyways. Okay. Cash says, with such sizable gains in ZAR, aren't you better in crystallizing the profits and trading daily pivots? Yeah. But that's not what I'm trying to show. I'm trying to show how to set up trade plans. Most people that roll in to the Forex.Today live streams, they don't know jack about fundamentals. They know jack about seasonality, and they cannot plan 2 days in a row, yet alone 2 weeks in a row, and they've never even thought about the possibility of planning a whole month in advance. So I'm trying to get you there in the free live streams where you're like, oh my God, there's something to what he's saying. I can have trades worth a little more. I can go more than 25 pips. Getting 100 pips on a trade is not a big deal. With a little bit of planning, a little bit of understanding, you can do a lot better. That's what I'm trying to get across here. Okay? But I'm not sitting here making, sort of a full trading overview. It's not the right place and the right time, and it's impossible to teach. But also, what'll happen is people just stop listening and they want me to throw them into trades. Well, here's the thing. I'm only here an hour and a half a day, right? There's very few trades typically in any period of an hour and a half. So typically when I take trades, it's throughout the day. I'd have to be here 20 hours a day to do it right. And that's not the point. I'm not managing your money. I'm not putting you into trades. I am trying to pique your interest and say there is a bigger and better way to trade than probably what you are doing. And at least this might complement what you're doing. Things like patience, discipline, planning, forethought, research, right? That kind of thing. Richard says, I just got hip to trailing stops. Yeah, I hate trailing stops. Okay. Hey, so yeah, I thought you're right, Cave. Hey, YouTube is throwing warnings all of a sudden. Are you guys all right? I'm getting warnings like stream quality or something. I don't know why. Okay. But anyway, so going back to cash, like cash, you're right. There's probably a good opportunity, right? There's probably a good idea to book some of that profit. One of the things I've done, like in the swing trading group, okay, in the swing trading group, now that's a paid group, but anyways, going back to, I'm trying to set it up in a different way. I use these trades as a basis of discussion as well, not just entry, but again, a discussion of what would you do? So we were here, right? What would you do in a scenario like this? This was support. We're here now. And you should think about this. What should you do here? Okay? What should you do here? And is there a similarity or difference between the left and the right? And the interesting answer here doesn't even lie on the chart. There's nothing on this chart, and we discussed it so many times. There's nothing on this chart to tell you what the answer is. So I said, think about what you would do and why you would do it, right? And compare and contrast the end of February with the end of March, right? Are they the same? And of course, anyone that works with me, we spend a lot of time discussing and learning seasonality. And I said, so no matter what happens, if it does this, think about it. And if it does that, think about it. But it won't be relevant to you unless you make a decision now. What would you do? Okay. And of course, but seasonality told me to stay short, right? Now, I didn't come out and tell people you should just stay short. I said, compare what's the difference between this period 1, and this period 2. Seasonality predicts this. So now, what can you learn? What can you remember? Is February the same, right? Is March 1st the same as April 1st? Is April 1st the same as July 1st? Is July 1st the same as September 1st? Is September 1st the same as January 1st? Like, well, once you start to see, you're like, wait, there are differences. There are differences, right? I would sell the dollar the 1st of October. I would buy the dollar the 1st of January. Wait, Wayne, you haven't even looked at a chart. Oh, I know. So I wanted to make that a learning experience. Like, if it doesn't behave the same, why? Why is what makes you smart. So we focus a lot on the why. The how is easy. Technical analysis is easy. What? You need what? 1 year of study to learn basic technical analysis? That's easy. Okay. So anyways, so that's the thought process. So I'm going to leave it here. I want you to think about it. What should you do here? What would you do if you were here where you're in the pivot profit zone? Uh-oh, I forgot. That's why I have an alarm. I'm going to have to go soon. We're in the pivot profit zone, and I've taught you to take profit in the pivot profit zone. One of the reasons why I named it the pivot profit zone. Okay? Cool. What should you do here? Should you do what you were taught to always do, which there's no shame in? Or is there something different in the moment where you can override the normal? Is this the norm, or is there something different? Okay? If you take the moment to think about it, I'll leave the right? We can leave it, and you can say, you can watch it come back, for example, and say, I knew it. I knew. I was told to always take profit in here, and I did, and it was the right thing. Well, good. Now you're going to have like an emotional response, and you might actually remember what would happen. Okay? I'm not saying what the right decision is, because you need to learn for yourself. Many people would not even be in the position to even make the decision, and they may not even realize a decision needs to be made, and they don't make a decision, and then there's no learning experience. Do you guys agree with that learning process? I hope you do. Okay. If it goes this way, you can, right? Maybe it doubly makes the point. Wait, these monthly pivots are based on what happened in March, but maybe April and March are two different separate months that are not related. Maybe March is related to February, but March is not related to April. That's interesting. Why? Why is that true? What could make that possible? Is it US dollar seasonality? I don't know, but if you don't know, you don't even know to be aware, then how could you possibly learn? Okay. Okay. So anyways, so now you got something to look at. This is eye candy. Okay. This is eye candy. I'm giving you learning experiences. Okay. That would be the standard operating procedure. We discussed it last week, the week before, and the week before that when I sold it. Okay. Do you guys remember the plan? Sell at 15, profit at 14. You guys remember? Like really complicated, right? Wait, what? Sell it at 15 and go for 14? Yeah, I know, right? Okay. That, dude, somebody keeps calling me from Hong Kong. What bloody bankers? Go to bed, dude. It's 9 p.m. Anyways, yeah. So there's the plan. What do you stink? Or should we go for 13.5? Good enough for me. I'll even throw it in there. S3, that's fine. Okay. On this monthly, how about or 13.50? Both of those are reasonable. Now, if you were George Soros, would you sell at 15 and go for 13? Or would you go for 10? You see? So like, for example, let's just have some fun. We'll say, here's the high this year. Here's the low this year. We'll make it there. I'm just making up some nonsense. But, you know, most of the technical analysis we've learned is just nonsense anyways. All right, let's move that there. All right, so now let's zoom in. And we say, that's what we've done so far this year. Let's do it again. I can't pick it up now. It won't let me move it. No, it won't let me move it. I guess I can do this. No. Well, it's 15 to 14 anyways. That's funny. I never even noticed that. That can't be true. Hang on. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I knew that couldn't be true. All right. That's why it's only half. Okay, so now let's do it this way and say, you know what? Let's do it from, well, that's interesting, actually. Look at that. So this might just say, yeah, 13 and a half. It's interesting. My first trade is basic, pretty close to the entire year so far. So anyways, I don't know. I was trying to say, like, you know, we've moved this far this year. Can we do it again from this low? And that just points us to 12 and a half. So I guess we can do it that way, which would be sort of, that would either be May's target, right? Or somewhere closer to June. But let's do this. Let's take this a different angle. Let's say we do go to S3 this month. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Well, by the way, Richard, pivot points are all about projections, standard deviations. That's the whole point. Okay, how about this? Let's say we're correct. And this goes down to 1350. So I'll move it this way. Not S3. Doesn't quite get there. Let's make it, once again, it won't let me move my horizontal line. Why is it doing this? All right, well. Okay, finally. 1350 is about here. Okay, not a big difference, right? Okay, so there's our target, let's say. Here's what I would do if I were me. Okay. And by the way, we do this in the swing trading group. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. If you want to learn how to think, join the group. Okay. Let's say we're right. We have a fantastic month on Rand. Cool. Calculate May's pivot points. Open, high, low, close, divided by 3. Find the central. Look at the standard deviation. The highest high, the lowest low from the mean. Start calculating those things out. And you can start making projections. And the reason you do it, I'm not going to do it for you, because most people are not going to do it anyway, so it doesn't even matter. I'm talking to a ghost. But, okay, what if you end up finding that if this is true and you find where the central pivot is going to be, and then the new pivot profit zone down in here from the new expansion, you're like, son of a gun, it gets us down to 1250. Like that, maybe it gives you strength to stay with the trade. Okay. Do I think George Soros is trading pivot points on MT4? No, of course not. He doesn't even use pivot points. Okay. And I wouldn't be an arrogant prick if I didn't remind you for the 100th time that I've actually sat on a board of directors with George Soros. So I can speak for him. We're like best friends. Georgie never uses pivot points. Yeah, well, so I can show you the annual report where George Soros is on the left page. I was a director of the company, not just on the board of directors, but I was an executive. So I was on the executive committee of the board of directors. He was just a director. But we're that close. He still calls me up. What's up, bro? Okay. Anyways, I got to roll, yo. I got to go. Sorry about that. So only, an hour and 15 minutes today? Sorry. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Namaste, 6 feet away. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for your positive energy. Thank you for your hard work and collaboration with me day after day after day. And remember, please let Traders Way earn your loyalty and respect. Test them out. TradersWay.com. That's what a demo is for. Yo. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you Wednesday. I'll see you Thursday. I'll see you Friday. It's going to be awesome.